What's good, y'all? Welcome to Music with Mando in the Morning, the podcast where we interview artists about their upcoming work, previous work, and pretty much just anything they're working on in general. Today, I got the homie. It's Denny.
What is up, brother?
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having me out, bro.
Thank you for coming on, bro. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm excited.
So I guess just to start it off, man, how's your 2024 been so far?
Slow on the music side of things, but other than that, man, a lot of prep work in the kitchen. You know what I mean?
You been cooking?
I've been cooking, but there's no entrees out at the window yet. You know what I'm saying? Kind of just been a lot of mental capacity growth. Like,
I get you.
as much as this is for like other people, and honestly, like, yes, it's like you're doing it for yourself, but like if you're trying to reach people, it's gotta in some way be you, but relate to them, or you guys are so similar that they're like, oh wow, this feels like it is me, if that makes sense. So for me, I'm trying to find like my passion for it, to stay true to myself but still be able to rock out with the homies that don't necessarily have the same concepts, the same views, or the same, you know what I mean? Like, all of us have like a same end goal, but like all of us have a different stairway, ladder, or you know what I mean, way that we're pegs that we're climbing to get there. So for me, a lot of this, the first part of this year has been a lot of writing, and honestly just a lot of work on the 9 to 5 to have the money to put behind to put down to invest. So you know the deal.
I get you. I mean, that's all part of growth too, though. You know what I mean? Just because you ain't releasing nothing doesn't mean you ain't working.
True. Yeah, I would say Kendrick Lamar is like probably one of my favorites, and that's like a great example. You know what I mean? Like years and years spans where you're not hearing from Kendrick, and then it's like, oh, you're hearing from me now, but listen up. Like in those situations, you know, when you do speak, they listen. You know what I mean? When the king comes off the throne, it's, you know, type deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, so I guess that kind of leads into my next question. What's your goals for the year, man?
By the end of 2024, we'll have gone on tour again, loosely. Second time with Noah, for sure. Second time with Stormy. We went to Arizona, not last year, but the year before, I believe. We're going to be on tour again. I'm going to have a whole nother merch line out again. Definitely have an EP drop, at least 5 songs for sure. Hoping probably end of summer type deal there. Get that Lana Del Rey Summertime Sadness. No, just something so that way I can give myself some time. Absolutely. I had a good buddy tell me that's smart, and you know, all of our buddies are in the same type of circle, but if you have a blueprint, stick to it.
Absolutely.
And you know, I was like, oh shoot, you know, am I overthinking? Am I arrogant? Like, not arrogant, or not in a sense where it's like, oh, I'm good, but it's like, are you good if you're ignorant? So like I always try to like toe that line, and he was like, you know, kind of just kind of hone in on that.
It comes off in the music you write, I want to say. You know, you're very conscious with the stuff that you spit, you know.
Yeah. I overthink a lot, and it definitely comes out my bars. You know, I'm sitting in the studio with shout out C-Mad and Noah and, you know, Stormy and all them. I'm sitting in the booth, and it's like, you know, they're just boom, 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 and it's like, especially I've been in the booth with C-Mad where he's like, you know, he writes a whole 32, and he's like, nah, scratch that, I gotta go because the 8 you just cooked, I heard that, and I gotta, you know what I mean, go. And he'll get 64 bars done before I get a 16 done. And it's like, sometimes it's just it can be my greatest strength, but sometimes it's just that there's those times where I find myself like caught up, if you know what I'm saying.
No,
like,
yeah, I get you.
You know, over articulating. But no, for sure, I'm very conscious of what goes in. People will hear it, and people call you out your word, and that's sadly the reality, where nowadays it's like you see these people like a couple months later exposed, and then boom, done. You know what I mean? And it's based on all of that was what you saw and what they said, you know what I mean? Same type of deal. For me, it's like, for my visuals, I try to just stay true to myself, and what I speak, that's very, like you said, just try to be very conscious of what goes in, because that's what people pick up on. Especially when, you know what I mean? So if I pop up in a playlist and say it's a crazy album cover or something like that, where I'm not on the cover, there's no face to it. You know what I mean? Like, the only thing they have to relate to is what I'm saying, or the sound of it. But sadly, the music industry today is like, people are just so focused on the sound instead of what's being said. So that's why I try to over articulate what's being said. So it's like, whoa, like I listen to this guy because of what he's saying.
So how long have you been doing this for now, bro?
My first show was opening up with Stormy and Born Broke Die Famous and a bunch of those old cats for one of their friends, I think her 16th birthday party.
Wow.
I want to say that I was either 17 or 18 at the time. That was at Shotsky's in Salem. That was like the first like show I ever did. But I was raised in a religious, in a church, and from like the earliest ages, every service you had, what I mean, even if you weren't up on stage, you were singing, you know what I mean, and if not, you were standing and clapping. Learn like the rhythm and stuff like really early being in church, and then probably from like 10. It was like singing in church and stuff. But my mom's youngest brother, he rapped, and he ended up living like right next door to us. Like we lived in a duplex, and there was a duplex here, and I had my good buddy next door. And the next duplex over was my uncle, and he rapped, and I started off just singing his hooks, and at like a really young age. And then eventually I was like, oh, I want to rap. And he had like spit a freestyle on the 4th of July. I remember I was like walking in the bark mulch, and he was like did this whole freestyle about how I was being stupid and I need to go get shoes on. I was gonna get I was gonna have like splinters in the bottom of my feet when we went to go watch the fireworks. And that was the first time I realized that like freestyle was like real, because I had always like thought that freestyle was like
they called it a freestyle.
They called it
really
a freestyle, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you see so much nowadays, and it like kills me, because it's like so many people I've asked, at parties or whatever the hell. I'm not saying I'm going out and partying all the time, but especially back in the day, it's like you freestyle. It's like, oh, when I'm fucked up, you know what I mean? And it's like all these people. It's like that's not, you know what I mean? So many people, they just like, I'm talking a true freestyle. If I said like, give me something about the 49ers E40, a silver Cuban, you know what I'm saying? Like, give me that, boom, go. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I see a freestyle. Something that you're thinking of like back and forth, like that's what
just
I consider
picking
that.
up rhymes with as you go.
Yeah. And I realized that like right then and there that like freestyling was a possible thing. That if I wanted to rap at that point, I didn't want to just sing his hooks anymore, because I had that like, that young like Macklemore, like I wanna fly, all the kids singing, can you take, but like had that feel, and I was like, no, I want to rap, and I started doing it on my own. And then by the time that I was like 13, I was like definitely doing it, but like actually having shows and had music come out like 17, 18. So to answer your question, sorry for all the ramble, but yeah, like let's see, like 7 years, almost 8.
So that's interesting to know, because like I know it's something you pride yourself on, and like I recognize it, your versatility, like it's real. Like,
thank you, bro.
Like
thank you.
Yeah, like there ain't nobody out there hitting notes you hitting. Like there really ain't.
That's great, bro. I appreciate you, bro. In the beginning, it was like music with a message, and I remember like on the original SoundCloud bios back in the day for SoundCloud artists. You know what I mean? Like it was like my thing was music with a message, and now a lot of the things I say, like I like strive on versatility. So I might name the track like versatility, but maybe use an acronym and make people think a little bit more, like I always try to.
Again, like I commend your versatility, but also along with that, I commend you being versatile and being able to do all that without cursing at all. So my question is, why don't you curse in your raps?
Oh shoot. Well, it's kind of multifaceted. My dad was a Christian, like I said. We were raised in church, and there's the old saying, like, your daddy will be rolling in his grave, and there's a part of me that kind of holds to that. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't want to disappoint dad, looking down on me, that's for sure. But then there was a large part of it was when I first started doing music on my own and kind of separated from my uncle, and kind of a lot of it was getting away from that religious background. I started rapping with some buddies from the hometown, I looked up to KG Lunar and DDT, which they were both from Junction City. I was raised in Harrisburg, about 4 miles across the field and across the river. They were across there, and there was no rappers from Harrisburg besides for one dude, Bo Kelson, and all of all the people are gonna laugh. Yeah, besides for Bo Kelson, I was the only rapper, and Bo Kelson definitely started after I did. Started rapping with the buddies, and I looked up to these dudes from Junction City, and then I made my own buddies from Junction City, and they were like, "Oh, I know this dude that could rap." Started rapping with them, and there was a dude named that went by Official Bishop, and he had his studio, and he just so happened to be like a Christian youth pastor.
Oh shit.
So my buddy that I was going to, and we were like doing all of our hood rat stuff, you know what I mean, smoking weed when we were supposed to be, and doing the stuff that young kids do as teenagers and like high school. You know, we were doing our stuff, but he had a really strong connection because, you know, Bishop was trying to like like preach to him. So but he had rights to the studio, but he had, you know, kind of told, I was a little bit too respectful to just tell Bishop off, but Bishop was like, "Yo, you have talent. Why are you doing it like this?" So he took one of the songs that I spit, and I don't know the exact times, but I can tell you that it was like almost 60% of my song. And he's like, I'm not even just gonna like take out anything that would be like marked as explicit on like major platforms, you know what I'm saying? Anything that would mark it as explicit. It's like, I'm just gonna the beat will be cut out, and like anything you're saying will just be cut out. It'll just be empty space where I'm just sitting here. You know what I mean? And he did that, and I literally lost like 60% of my song.
It was like just sitting in silence.
A lot of it was just like da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Just sitting there for so long, like, and I'm like, oh, like I really did just like miss so much. And you guys, you've heard it the whole time. Like, it's not that I don't swear. It's like when I'm going to articulate something, if I'm going to sit here and be so picky about it and so articulate, why would I go just like do a random brush stroke or a filler brush stroke that's not actually going to help me out? So he was like, yo, why are you putting in all that? Take that out and articulate, like, you know, find a way to like get the same point across without doing it. Look how much of this you just lost. Like, look how much you just lost. And you know what I mean? Look at the amount of people you could reach to. And then I started putting it all together, and then it's like, oh, but if I was rapping with my uncle, he wouldn't want that. My dad looking down on me, he wouldn't want that. He's telling me that I could do it. And then for the longest time, for a while, I didn't care. I still did my own thing, and I had music that I actually have removed from all platforms. And my sister and my buddy Sam Frazee, there's only 2 people that are have that downloaded, and then the couple buddies that helped me record it back in the day. But all that music since been deleted, and I kind of like rebranded. Came out like 4 years after my dad passed, and did a whole EP where I didn't swear, and the whole thing was based as like, I miss you, Dad, but I didn't swear in the whole thing. And ever since that, I never wrote like profanity in any of my music again. I said damn, and back then. And one track that has yet to be released, I said ass, and we were freestyling. It was the first time that Noah and Stormy ever came down. But like, other than that, like, no, I really do try to keep it clean. But I do speak on like stuff I've been through, and you know what I mean? Just message. A lot of my songs are conceptual. It's like I said, though, it's really hard to find a way to stay true to that, though, when you're working with
different perspective.
Different perspective. You know what I mean? Like, you know, fucking love Barry Bands, man. Like, I mean, I've been trying to work with him, and we actually got the beat already locked down. But, you know, that is going to be something that I'm, like, actually looking forward to. It's going to be a challenge for me, like, finding a way to bring that Dago style and the mob, you know what I mean? But finding a way for me to stay true to myself without talking about some fucking hoes I don't got, or some chains that I don't rock. Image is huge, and it's not even just, like, what people think about me. It's just, like, what are you putting out there? And so, sorry, I know I go on these rants, bro, but like, there
wouldn't be a podcast without rants, you know what I mean? Like,
but no, I really do, like, for Pops, because of like that, when I miss so much of my song, and honestly, just because I feel like, dude, I've had times where I've had like, was at this one label, and then he's got a lifelong friend, Heather, and she's got her son, and she's like, I love your music. And then Stormy has kids and such, and he does an all ages show, and this kid just loves my music. And he's like, I had that opportunity to be like, hey, come on stage and dance for a second, you know what I mean? And for a song, and he just loved it, you know what I mean? Like, you know, but what if that whole song, he's up there, and sure, you know what I mean? Fucking name one of your big artists. They could call somebody up, and hopefully they got a clean song. But it's like, you know, they could be glorifying some crazy stuff while like that kid is on stage.
Yeah, definitely.
That kid, you know what I mean? How old were you when you started listening to rap?
Shit, like seriously, like
Yeah.
6th grade, and the first person I like really listened to was like Eminem. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's who a lot of people like get into.
Yeah,
first,
you know what I'm
but-
saying? And like the stuff that he was teaching you in that at that
Mhm.
age, that you were in 6th grade when you were listening to that.
Yeah.
You like
Mhm.
that changed your perspective. That changes your sensitivity on things. That changes your outlook, your view. You know what I mean? And now it's even worse. You know what I mean? For me, I was hearing shit growing up, and it's like fucking 50 Cent said, like, everybody wants to be a gangster. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, everybody loves
Mhm.
that, you know?
But again, like it is that perspective, like you're right. Like I was in 6th grade, listening to Eminem say that shit, right? But think
Yeah.
about it, like
So who's to say that there's not going to be a 6th grader listening to what I have to say?
no, yeah, exactly. But like
You
what I was
know?
gonna say with that too is like think about for Eminem, like he did get put on blast for shit like that, but he was telling his perspective because
Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. For me,
Yeah.
I would love to do a verse with Eminem, but I would still find a way to
Yeah.
spit
No,
my
for
thing
sure.
and make it work for
Yeah.
both.
Absolutely.
Like you said, that kind of just plays into the versatility.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
There's not a lot of artists that just choose not to, but still talk about the content that everybody else is talking about, but
Mm-hmm.
find a way to change the narrative, talk about the end result, and still be able to make a bopper with the boys every once in a
Yeah.
while, and still it's clean. You know what I mean? Like making a club song without swearing or without talking about anything dirty,
Mm-hmm.
not easy. Done
But y'all do it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So it is, it's it's just part of that versatility tree, you know what I mean? This branch is that, this branch, you know what I mean? The punk, R&B, spoken word, lyricism, cadence, whatever you want to call that, you know what I mean? Or the roots, whatever. Some of those would probably be roots, and then branches would probably be different if I really had to break down a versatility tree. But you know what I mean? It all just plays into that for sure.
On top of that, like what I want to say about it is like, I know your versatility is real because I didn't realize you didn't cuss in any of your raps till you said something.
Oh, for real?
You and C-Mad were working on something. He's like, no, it's easy. You would be like, no, it's easy, bro. I don't cuss in any of my raps. I was like, he doesn't cuss in any of his raps.
Damn.
Like, I didn't realize that.
Dang.
Because, but
I've only had like few people notice because most people I do have to tell, but like a lot of people, because they don't notice that it's clean. That's the thing. They don't realize that I'm spitting a clean verse. Because they don't realize it's clean, they associate it as dirty. If people just sat for a second and everyone's like, even some of my closest friends are like, your shit's too complex, nobody understands it. If somebody took the second to, you know how many people have gone on Genius or all these pages and put in the lyrics for their favorite songs, and they're accurate, they're right, and they stay like that?
Yeah.
Like, somebody somewhere out there is going to be like, yo, I heard that. That's fucking insane what he just did. You know what I mean? Like, there's part of that I just, I feel like that's part of why it's so dope to me. I've said it on stage before, like, not even though I'm not religious, you know what I mean? Like, I want to have a couple fucking bars that a youth pastor could show to his fucking congregation, or that, somebody that's hustling in the streets or like, selling whatever, they can be like, oh, wow, I relate to that too. You know what I mean? Like, pain's pain, bro. People relate to pain, but like, no, but people relate to pain, bro. And we wouldn't have that revolution of X. We wouldn't have that Juice WRLD wave. We wouldn't have Peep. You know what I mean? We wouldn't have this. We wouldn't have had that whole generation that came from pain. It literally came from like a whole layer of sadness. You know what I'm saying? So people do relate to that. And sometimes, I just spit what I feel. And if I'm feeling, then you're going to get something like Rydas, or you're going to get something like I Be Lying. And when I'm feeling a bit soulful, you'll get Back Then, or you'll get Lost. You know what I mean? Like, it just, for me, it's all based on feels. And then a lot of it is conceptual too. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like I said earlier, make a song about E40 with the silver Cuban in a 49ers hat. You know what I mean? Like, a concept, and then how do you work that to a song? So
yeah. For me, I think I just never realized it because, like, when I listen to rap, like, I listen for, like, lyrical content. I listen for the storytelling. I don't notice when someone says, fuck, shit, damn. Like, like, I listen to the story. So, like, it never stood out to me when you didn't because I was more listening to your lyrics than looking out for you cussing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, like, when you see, you know what I mean, when the song's marked explicit or whatever, you like, you know what I mean,
You're
or I
just
hop
gonna
on,
think it's explicit,
you're just gonna think that mine's just the same, like, you know what I mean, like I said multiple times now, not to beat a dead horse, but like finding the same, riding the same wave, but not conforming, you know.
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. You know how we do about this time. Before we move on, we gotta get into our thank yous. So, first of all, I gotta give a shout out to my homeboy Denny for coming on the podcast. Couldn't have a podcast without our guests, as always. So, much love. Appreciate you for coming on, bro.
I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, bro. I just way too psyched for it, bro. I was like, I can't be dull, man. I just gotta go for it. So I'm way too pumped, bro. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Second, like I always say again, shout out to School of Journalism and Communication at University of Oregon. Again, without them, we wouldn't have a podcast because we wouldn't have the podcast room and we wouldn't have the camera equipment that all this is recorded on, and the audio equipment, obviously. And then, as always, shout out to the homies at Dirt Squad Productions.
Of course.
Like most of the artists I've had on here already, I wouldn't.
Fifth time,
I wouldn't know Denny without them. So shout out to them, of course. And if you're in Oregon or anywhere, you need beats or audio services, tap in with the homies at Dirt Squad.
Good beats, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good beats.
Then, shout out to the homie Stormy for being last week's guest. Amazing podcast, and slide out to the show this weekend.
Oh man,
the homie Denny gonna be there too.
Yes, brother and friend right there. So, yeah, come support Noah, Stormy, and I gonna be pulling out there with Stano the head honcho, Cody OK, and I think Stizzy Tans too. Yeah, so yeah, come on out.
Yes, sir. And then I also want to give a special shout out to my homeboy Riley for coming down from Corvallis. Why did I say Corvallis? Homie's an ex-Beaver, so I'm giving him a little too much credit from coming through from Ben. I appreciate that, man.
Appreciate you too, bro.
Y'all ain't gonna see him, but he's working our soundboards today, and it's helpful because normally I do this shit by myself. And then finally, I don't know how I ain't mentioned it before, this whole thing is brought to you by Delta Squad Media, my media company that I pretty much started when I was a senior in high school. We rockin' strong. So yeah, tap in with me if you need any video, pictures, anything media related. Tap in. Moving on.
Yes, sir.
Talked about it a little bit, but what kind of shows and events you got cooking up?
Honestly, I don't have too much like super lockdown as for dates, but the Pieces tour, because as you all know, the boy Noah Finch just came out that smacker EP, Say My Love to Moms. So we're gonna go on the Pieces tour. We don't have too many dates. Let me pull this out if that's cool. We're pulling out in Medford, Salem, Newport, and Springfield, and we are also still booking if there's any venues anywhere in Oregon, or even I'll just say a PNW to just get that out there. Anywhere still booking, please hit us up. We would love that. You can tap in with Stormy Outside Music. I think, yeah, stormyoutsidemusic@gmail.com. You can tap in with me at mannbfour@gmail.com. And yeah, we can definitely I can relay any message or whatever to get that over. Other than that, as for me, we got the Valentine's Bash coming out, but this is coming out Monday. Yeah. Wednesday. Okay. Yeah. Coming out Wednesday. So it'll be behind, but yeah, we're doing the Valentine's Bash. I'll be popping out with Stormy and Noah, Dizzy Right out of 419 at I think it's the Star Theater. Just to get that straight. Yeah, the Star Theater, 419 in Portland. So I'll be popping out with them, showing the boys love, and they obviously are going to reciprocate that. You have to have, I got to have something to throw out before I just hop into anything. So, you know, getting to the point where I was just talking to boys the other day, like, stagnicity isn't good for anything, dude. Like, even water, you know, water sits too long and it becomes gross. Like, it starts growing mold and shit. And for real, like, you know, anything like that becomes stagnant, it becomes gross. And so for me, like, I feel like sitting too long, not making projects, not having shows or whatever is like, it's gonna be a killer. It's gonna like, it's gonna start reaping more negative benefits than anything. So for me, just definitely trying to put in, like you said, like we've been talking about, like put in that work beforehand, the prep work. Right now, just trying to grind and make sure I've got hope, like have to like show new stuff and not just do the beat a dead horse with the same old songs 2-3 years old. For me, I don't want to just continue to do stage sets that's like all from my album that came out years ago, you know what I mean? Like trying to work to have new shit and have that push the grind and be reciprocal in the in the energy chain. So make sure that I'm not lacking behind or also not working because other people are helping me out and being like, hey, come on the Pieces tour, and they're like, hey, come out on right. I don't have too many dates right here, but as to come, like that they just flow in, and next week there could be 3 books, just what I mean, or after Wednesday, who knows, what I'm saying. But it's kind of just how it goes. I can get some stuff cooking for sure, but right now it's just definitely been focusing on the craft instead of the showmanship.
Got you.
For sure.
So in that case, what EPs and projects you got cooking up, or songs too?
Yes, sir. Right now, working on some bigger stuff. I actually was sat way back in the day through multiple different chains and actually through social media. Bought a verse through Lil Chimey with Rich the Kid. Got another one that was unusable. I'll just leave it at that. But got one that was actually Rich the Kid's part was super fire, and I kind of sat on it. I didn't have a lot of capability to put product that was matching, and also didn't want to waste an opportunity with dropping that song as like a SoundCloud single, you know what I mean, and getting a couple hundred views in Harrisburg type deal when I first started off, when I got that. And honestly, it was just stupid. Like it was, kind of a, not a stupid, but like a ballsy purchase. It was a little bit, I shouldn't have had the money I had, was doing some stupid stuff, you know what I mean, kind of one of those type deals. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna get, and before I had kind of decided to make that switch, and that was kind of the thing I was talking about, finding a way to do that. And then getting crewed with Dirt Squad, and they had the ability to like literally manipulate the stems, and watching him do all that and make it to where it was like dope. Like that finally put some, like, it just rejuvenated that. So that, number one, Rich the Q feature, and again, I don't have a name for it, but actually on Tuesday I'm gonna do a photo shoot with one of my good buddies on Instagram. He goes by Pure Haze. I think it's with 2 E's. We're gonna do a photo shoot, and I'm hoping that's gonna be like the cover, like either for the album or the EP cover. But yeah, that's just to get on there. But right now it's kind of hard, but because it's not all complete yet. It's just it's real fucking close though. So first and foremost, getting all the artwork and stuff done for it first. I want to have some merch to put behind it. But you said features and songs coming out. Got like I said, the Rich the Kid one. Been working and talking with Young Simi. I'm still working through some complications, like I said. You'll hear that later on. That one's gonna be awesome. Kind of put a play on one of those super classic kid movies, Hakuna Matata. So that one's going to be super cool. Just laid down my verse and got all that redone, and actually repolished it a little bit, because some of the bars, like I said, sometimes I overthink, and I decided to rewrite the hook, and it actually came out way better.
I listened a little beforehand, so I know what's coming. It's a slapper. Yeah,
it's pretty good. And then you know what I mean, just going in and walking in the studio and be comfortable is just huge. That's really big. That's really big. So like I said, versatility. I've got one that is a Diablo beat. And then I just loved it. I was working there again with the stem manipulation. Was able to just drop in a sample from Avatar: The Last Airbender with Uncle Iroh, and that one's awesome. He's like, I ever told you how I got the nickname the Dragon of the West? You know what I mean? It's like super sick. And in one of the bars, I said, I'm the Dragon of the West, like Iroh, and it was like super cool. They just like used the stem manipulation and was able to like drop that sample in. Got that one will probably be on the EP. But again, I gotta strive towards versatility, so I want to get something a little bit punky on there. Me and Stormy did a song back in the day that just needs a little bit of more work, and I hadn't been practicing singing for a while. I had like kind of lost confidence in singing for a bit, and it's really easy to do. You know what I mean? It's my big thing is like, you give LeBron a basketball every 2 years, you know what I mean, he wouldn't be as good as basketball if he is, you know what I mean? It's got to be a constant thing. And I'd just been doing rapping so long that my singing side had kind of definitely like collapsed and I had to rework that.
Mm-hmm.
We've definitely been working on the singing stuff as of recent. And that's what you're saying. You're hearing all like these, you know, those super high notes and like that little fucking opera bit. You know what I mean? Like all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I mean? Like working on that side again. So again, to show the versatility, maybe get some punk in there,
Mm-hmm.
and then get some R&B in there, and then get us, you know what I mean? Maybe some spoken word in there. You actually you recorded that, and that was awesome. You
Mm-hmm.
did that outside when we opened for Riff Raff.
Yeah.
A couple
You
months
spit
back.
to the fisherman, yeah.
Yeah, I want to spit with Antelope Fisherman, and I was like, hey, like y'all need to hear this because the vibe that you're spitting, you know. And again, like I'm saying, like I hear their words, and I'm taking them out their word, you know. It's like what I'm hearing is like let me speak to you, you know what I'm saying? And that was super cool. So like get some spoken word in there, get some R&B in there, and then get some heavier rap. And then, as you know, it's foolish to say that rap is kind of just a genre.
Yeah.
Definitely, I would say like sub genres. You know what I mean? I'm sure you feel the same way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's like, you know, you got the Suicide Boys, and they've got like some of them, or like maybe let's like take it further. You know what I mean? You got like City Morgue in them. That's like metal rap. You know what I mean? You got Suicide Boys, and they are actually very versatile. You know what I mean? They do all sorts of stuff, but they definitely started with like the dark stuff, and then you know what I mean? You've got the trap rap, and we have all these different lanes of rap nowadays. It's not you cannot. You know what I mean? You can't compare like ski to like to fucking Dre. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this there is different types of rap. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, you told me a little bit about the stuff you got cooking up. Is there anything in particular that you're excited for more than the others?
Honestly, those big features, because I think like honestly, if you use them in the right way, they will be big. Sorry, trying to get this back up there. You know, if I can use those to my advantage, that will be big. And that's what I was saying. The shout out, just fucking say it, Noah, fucking the good homie, bro. He was like, yo, just there's been a blueprint like laid out. You know what I mean? Just follow that, have some faith, and then you know what I mean, gain some structure. You know what I mean? Write down what you need to do. Working on that EP, doing all that. For me, the big thing that sticks out, it's gonna be those features. If you know, for me, I already have the Rich the Kid feature back. So for me, I just have to step up and like cook on that. Got my verse down. Now I just need to go out to the boys and fucking
get it chopped up. Yeah.
Exactly. That's done. Waiting on Simmy to get that verse back. He told me a week, so we'll see on that. I've been listening to him for a long time, so that'll be huge. And then also I got a feature with Pint too.
Yeah.
And that'll be big. You know, a lot of people you know, kind of like, oh, who the hell is that? It's like they just, you know, they don't know. Definitely talent there, and you know what I mean. He's big, you know, big enough to where 50, you know, he was on 50's radar, you know, and if people know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean. They got, you know, was on Strange Music radar for a while, which you know, and people forget about that when he went by Pint Sized and stuff like that, and you know, and now then when you know then Odyssey and whatever he chooses to do next. You know, with Stevie, that's, you know, he's making big moves, and he pushed me, and that one's going to be an insane chop. And then that I'm just it's got to get some stems back so I can let the spaceman cook. Got to be better on social media and stuff, because it's, you know, it's hard to be a ghost.
Well, people like don't understand how much that plays into being an artist too. You know, like
for sure,
that's the marketing side of things too. You know, you can have amazing bars and shit, but like if you don't know how to market your shit, the right people aren't gonna hear it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Restaurant across the country, you're not gonna know it's there if you didn't see a commercial.
Exactly.
You know, same shit. Yeah.
All right, man. So you had your experience on a podcast, and like I ask everybody, is there anybody you recommend me reaching out to for the next one?
Shoot, man. It's hard. You already collected so many of the boys. I know he already got shouted out. Stano would be awesome. He's got such a character. I know Stormy said I'd be super funny, but he forgets that sometimes I gotta lock it down, and I do have anxiety sometimes, bro. So I gotta, you know what I mean, just try to chill and also, you know, not get canceled. But no, I think Stano would be awesome. He's got such a personality out here. And every time, you know, the make money, make money, you know what I mean? He's got the vibes, got the look, and I'm not saying that's what it's all about, but he's good people too. Savell is awesome. Would be dope to have out here. Stizzy Tans again have been shouted out again. Antelope Fisherman, and you got multiple mics. Gotta shout out Spaceman too. You know, all these people have been said. All these people have been said. That's why I'm just like, shoot, just pulling a blank. I think Roulette Delgado would be dope to have out. He's out of Portland. Huge energy, way used to social media, great with cameras, like, you know what I mean, up and close and personal. But yeah, man, if I'm forgetting anybody, dude, forgive me. But yeah, dude, honestly, fucking most people have been shouted out that I would love to just see an episode from. So, now again, no, I appreciate you a ton, bro.
Of course,
for real.
Of
This
course.
is way fucking dope, man. It's been long talked about, like we did, like we've been saying, you know what I mean? It's just such a popular thing right now. And even if you can't put the visual to it, there's so many people, like even me, like when I was like at work and like, oh shoot, like, you know, I'm on deliveries, like, you know, plug that in and shit, it's on YouTube, so I just gotta, you know what I mean, just keep my phone open and you know what I mean, like, you know, it is dope, and it's tapping into this wave before it's oversaturated, and it's the line is very thin, you know what I mean? It's dope.
Yeah, no. And I know, like, one thing, like, I don't think I've talked to you about it all, but I've talked to a couple of other people about it. Rap in Oregon, it's not big. And that sucks. But also,
not even in Portland, what you think would be like, you think it would be like somewhat of a mecca, and it's like you think the same thing about Seattle, but you'd be wrong, you know? Macklemore, like, his struggle to come out of Washington was insane, bro. Was insane. Like, you'd think it'd be easier, but like, I tell people to name like Oregon rappers, they're like, well, we had Amine, and I'm like, thank you, like, you know what I mean?
What I was gonna say with that too is, you know, it sucks that it's not like super present in Oregon. Yeah. But it's also great that it's not super present in Oregon.
Yeah, because, you blow people's socks off.
I'm tapping into a very niche demographic, you know what I mean? And like, I feel like that way, like, it's better. Like, you know, I'm helping something grow. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
And it's not a Sasquatch podcast, you know?
Another
coming out of Oregon, you know what I
another
mean?
one, yeah.
God damn, bro. No, for real. Yeah, way dope. Way dope. And it's stress-free, bro. I was way too angsty coming in this bitch, dude. Bro. Fuck. I wish I'd have just taken 2 chill pills, bro. Fuck. No, like, thank you again.
Of course, bro. And so before we wrap up here, is there anything else you'd just like to mention?
Oh, bro, yeah. For the 1000th time, bro. Shout out fucking Delta Squad Media, bro. Fucking, you're great, Armando, bro. Fucking, like I said, bro, I never want to be a dull moment or a bummer, bro. I was like, I gotta keep, you know what I mean? Keep on par at least. I don't like being the weak link, and it eats at me, and I am my biggest enemy for sure. No, I'm super thankful to you. Grateful to the Dirt Squad and everything they've been doing for just me and the boys recently. Thankful for Born Broke Die Famous and Noah and Stormy and what they've done for me. Stormy's been fucking immaculate to me. You know what I mean? Pretty much like acted as a manager for a long time and such. Just, you know, big moves, and was never like, so where's that wallet at? You know what I mean? Like, it was never like
it's
that.
All love.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, that's why I started to keep my circle small, and that's because it's rare that people are like that. You know, and dude, no, for real, just shout out. You know, I'm not gonna do the shout out this and that, shout out, but no, for real, like, shout out my family. The ones that are there with me, they're gonna see this and they're gonna know, and you know what I mean. My mom, my sister, and my, you know what I mean, they're fucking my brothers. They're there, you know what I mean. You know, shout out to my girl. She there through thick and thin, and has to listen to all these verses 6,000 times. Knows the verses before I even recorded them. You know what I mean. Showing someone my song, and she's like over there singing it, and they're like, you know what I mean, like. You know what I mean? At every show. Even worked the fucking door the other day because some shit went down at Club 126 and she didn't end up working the door, you know what I mean? She's just a real one. Yeah, bro. Fucking shout out to you once more, bro. Thank you for having us out.
Of course, bro. And thank y'all too, because I mean, I appreciate how much y'all give me thanks, but you can't have a podcast without your guests. So I appreciate you and everybody else.
But it's easy because you're real, bro.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and yes, you got that book open and stuff, but if you fucking showed the camera, like, I didn't have nothing in front of me the whole time. Like, I looked at my phone just to make sure I had the right cities down, because I'm fucking, like I said, I really do struggle with, like, sometimes just staying on topic. It's not easy to do that with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
If that was the case, people wouldn't be paying hundreds of dollars for therapy and stuff. I'm not saying this is just therapy, but like, if it was easy to just find someone that you could just talk and be yourself with and not feel judged and shit, there would be a lot more successful podcasts, and there would be, like I said, bro, people would feel that would be a lot more open and shit. But no, dude, you got to realize that you are, like, it's not just because, like, yes, you got the fucking U of O again, you know what I mean, helping you out, but for sure, like, with the, you know, the mic capabilities and the cameras and all that, is like, even though I know you've got shit of your own, you know what I mean, but, like, you are a big part of it, you know what I mean? There's no Mando in the morning, you know what I mean? There's no Mando without Mando, so, no, bro, like, you are a part of it, so, give yourself some credit, too, bro.
Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. As we always do at the end of the podcast, we got a verse from the homie Denny. And I feel like I don't even got to say it because by now, y'all should know only slappers get played around here. So we going to get into it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, yo, forewarning.
Oh, go ahead.
Before I hit it, there's a part, I'm not just, like, cutting it off. There's,
Yeah.
like, a small, like, bar break between the hook there.
Okay.
So, like, I'm not just, like, I'm not done right as that shit hits. So
You're good.
know,
You're good.
yeah.
I'll let that shit run.
Cool beans.
All right.
Here we go. Yeah, I hit it like that. Maybe. Hakuna Matata, not worried, not bothered. See through your persona, and all of your partners don't care if they plot and they said they gon' run up. I ain't got no problems. Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata. Yes, sir. Hakuna Matata, not worried, not bothered. See through your persona, and all of your partners don't care if they plot and they said they gon' run up. I ain't got no problems. Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata. Not worried, not bothered. See through your persona, and all of your partners don't care if they plot and they said they gon' run up. I ain't got no problems. Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata. Get tapped like katanas by alien, human, and monster. My fangs like piranhas. I smart you like Harvard till life is no longer. Take this as a promise. Seen life with more darkness. Cold-hearted and heartless. Been hurt by the harmless. My God up regardless. I need no accomplice. Say that you got it, so try if you want it. See right through your hardness. Please grant me. I'ma let loose like hopping up in the mosh pits. Been letting run so they nauseous. Show them how I do and breath, bro. I'm so sorry. Run, fight, choose that you only two options. In my groove, ain't no way you can stop this. In my shoes for a mile, couldn't walk this.
Thank y'all for watching.
Yes, sir.
This has been Music with Mando in the Morning. Tap in with it. I'll see y'all soon. Thanks for watching again.